It's absolutely smashing it down outside again, but I don't care because I'm inside and I've got some new toys to try. Yeah, this is the new TAYLORMADE. It was a secret club last week. It's not so secret now. It's a new P790. And that feels ace. Keep watching. I'm not going to harp on about the weather, but it is absolutely shocking still at the minute. That's why I'm inside. So over the weekend we had some more biblical rain, a month's worth of rain over a couple of days. Amazingly, the course here at St Anne's Old Links stayed in tip-top condition. You can't even find a puddle out there. The course remained open for the Saturday competition. Congratulations to Adam Brook, 36 points, just beating Pete Singleton on a card playoff. Well done there, Pete, as well. 65 played out of a normal 200. That tells you how bad the weather was here, because members at the Old Links are generally pretty hardy and go out in anything, but it was brutal. So well done to everyone that played, everyone that got round. And then the ladies played their captain's final for the ladies over the weekend as well, Sunday and yesterday. We're waiting the results on that. They'll be published on the club website very soon. This weekend we've got the captain's finals, so 54 golfers will be playing on Saturday and then jousting for positions for the shotgun start on Sunday morning. There will be a hot pot afterwards and a small presentation on that this Sunday. I will be around. It is my son's birthday, Harry. My oldest is 6 on Sunday, but I will be popping over to look after the presentation and make sure the cards are all correct. So I did mention this fantastic new TAYLORMADE club. It's the P790. Well, what's different? It looks a little bit different, to be fair. Nice cleaner top edge. There's a bit of more tungsten in the sole, and there's a slightly thinner face, 15% thinner face. What that equates to, tungsten in the sole, a bit high ball flight, thinner face, more ball speed. That's basically what that's all about. Apart from that, it's the same club. It is a little bit more expensive than the current P790. So if you've just been fitted and using the P790s, don't worry too much, because the new version would have cost you a bit more. As well, the P790 on my behalf has been one of the best performing clubs here in the studio at St Anne's Old Links and for the team down at London Golf Academy. I mean, that's a good hit. Carried 175, total 187. I can just hear that slightly thinner face. It does feel like it's springing off the face a little bit faster. Monday clubs are getting stronger and stronger. I had to go the Epic Flash last week, managed to get that easily 200 yards with a 7-iron, and equivalently it is pretty much a 4-iron with the number 7 on the bottom. And the same with these P790s, they are strong. Monday equipment, the lofts are getting stronger, but what the manufacturers are doing is putting more tungsten in the bottom of the club to get the ball performing higher, get the ball airborne more, and then obviously these thinner faces to get that ball speed up. Why are they doing that? Well, it's a lot easier to hit a 7-iron than it is to hit a 4-iron psychologically. Also, the shaft's a bit shorter, so it's easier to swing and easier to use. In my opinion, if you need the distance, take it. If you don't necessarily do it. That feels good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit a couple of shots with my original P79, hit a few shots with my original P790 iron, just see how they compare if I'm gaining with the new version. Okay, so I've got this down as the old 790. It's old, it's literally not old at all. One of the best selling clubs we've ever had. That feels nice. I do like the way these feel. Again, in my longer irons, I've got the 790s down to my wedge. 50 and 54, 58, I'm using bladed clubs, and that's because I want the feel. Now, if you are using a wedge in any of these modern day clubs, you're going to find you might need to spend a bit of time with your pro to get some yardage gapping done, certainly in the wedges and upwards. I've got the wedge here, I'll hit in a second, but if you're hitting a wedge around 140, 150 now, I mean, that's unheard of. Your next wedge down might be a 52, and that's probably 100 yards. You're going to need a few clubs in that gap there. Okay, so a couple of nice strikes with that. Let's have a little look at the numbers. Okay, old versus new. What we can see on the screen here, very similar ball flight. The new is the red line, the old is the blue line. Ball speed, there's your difference. It's jumping off at nearly 3 miles an hour faster ball speed with the new club. That's got to be down to that thinner face. What does that equate to? Less spin. Okay, the spin's dropped, so I'm going to lose control. It's carrying 6 yards further, running out 8 yards further. So straight away there is a gain, there's a yardage gain, but remember that yardage gain is due to a drop in spin and an increase in ball speed. The issue we've got here is if these clubs are spinning too little, not spinning enough, you're not going to get much control on the ball. And as long as that tungsten works in the sole of the club that gets the ball high, you're going to get that drop and stop. If you're not going to get these high, you're going to get no control with them at all. As always, with any of these new equipment, any of the new clubs, make sure you go and spend some time with your pro or custom fitter and make sure the equipment is right for you. Get the right shaft, right lie angle, right loft. Like I said, I did mention I'm going to hit a couple of shots with the wedge. Let's give that a whack. Okay, nice looking wedge here. Again, this can't really see a lot of difference between these and the original 790s. If you've got a set of the originals, do not worry. If you want a couple more yards, you might want to think about changing up, but I don't think that's necessary. Just remember, you're going to sacrifice control for that distance, that spin rate drops. How far does the wedge go? Okay, that felt nice. Carry distance, 120, running out to 126. That's not too bad. That's not gone off as hot as I'd expect. Let's give it another hit. So I know my 50 degree wedge is 105 yards carry, so I'd be quite happy using my 50 and then this. I was a little concerned that this might jump off to 130, 140 in the air. That's felt like it's come off quite a bit hotter. That's the only worry. First one carried 120, yeah, that's carried 130. So all of a sudden there's a little bit of inconsistency there, and both felt like pretty good strikes. Sometimes we do find that you might get a flyer with your forged cavity wedge rather than a bladed wedge. The flyer can come from many different reasons. A bit less spin because the ball was wet, or you hit it out of rough. Just think a little bit about why that might happen. Have a chat with me or any of the team and we'll help you. Yeah, now that one didn't feel like it flew as well. It's just dropping out the sky a little bit shorter. Yeah, I mean, these are good hits. I'm quite happy with the wedge, the feel of it, the look of it. However, just remember, if you're going to have a strong wedge in your bag, you might readdress your gapping in your shorter clubs. The scoring clubs, they're the most important clubs in the bag for me. I'm just going to move on now to a little tip really on if you're struggling with the hooks, because a lot of golfers keep telling me they're struggling with the slice, and we always work on that for golfers. Now and then, last few sessions I've had a few people who've really struggled hooking the ball. Too much hook, too much right to left. That ball goes low left into trouble very quickly. So nice simple little tip coming up. Now the simple thing here is, first of all, when you're hooking the ball, if it's moving too far right to left, check your grip. Are your knuckles too far over? Is your left thumb too far around to the right of the club? Really, ideally we'd want to see 2 to 2.5 knuckles on the left hand. If you can see 3 or 4, that's going to close the blade. The right hand, again, we just want to make sure that V is more towards the chin rather than all the way around to the right. If the hands are too far around to the right of the club, you will hook it. But you're out on the golf course, you've started developing the hooks, you're in a little bit of problem. I'm going to give this a whack, and this will hook, he says. There you go, so I've hit the hook there. Now, you don't want to start messing around with too many thoughts, too many swing thoughts while you're out on the golf course. You might have a great coaching session and work on different areas of your swing. However, mid-round, mid-drama, you just want to stop that ball moving left. Simple tip, make sure, check your grip, but also just apply a little bit more pressure with your right hand on the club. Just squeeze the club as if you're just squeezing the grip a little harder. Press the right pad under the thumb down onto that left thumb. That little bit of pressure on the top of the club, what it does, it just shortens this right forearm, prevents the club from releasing, so just put that little bit of pressure on. That was nice, sure enough, that's fixed the hook. A little bit too much there, I've overdone it and it's faded, but it just helps you prevent that release. Quite a lot of times you might feel this fold and collapse happening as well through impact. That little bit more pressure in the right hand, pressing down that thumb, pad of the thumb on the left thumb, will help you control the blade a bit more and prevent it from releasing. I'm going to give this a nice hit now. Let's see what we can get out of this new P790 4-iron with a big hit. Bit hooky, needed to squeeze down a little bit, didn't I? Let's give it another go. That's a nice hit. That's a good hit. I take that all day long. Looking at carry distance and total here. Carry 210, running out to, that's a strong 4-iron for me, 225. Pretty much got that epic flash 7-iron there. That's a quick look. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate if you do subscribe, great. If you don't, give us a little thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell as well, and you won't miss out on any future videos or giveaways. Just one final thing on slow play. That video took me about as long as it takes Bryson DeChambeau to line up a putt. I think we need to keep watching that. Make sure if you're out there, don't be taking 5 minutes to line a putt up, and make sure you keep up with the group in front. Thanks again. We'll see you all very soon.